Your bankruptcy has been discharged, but that does not mean you need to immediately start applying for credit at all these different places. The first thing you should do is understand what it means to be discharged from a proposal or from a bankruptcy. To be discharged simply means to be released from the debt associated to the proposal or to the bankruptcy. This could happen in multiple ways. You most likely have paid off successfully through the proposal all of your debts. Now, if you've ever done a proposal, you know that typically they're going to bundle all of your debt together, and typically they'll be willing to give you a discount for that debt. Through a bankruptcy, you may have to put up assets or do some type of extracurricular activity to satisfy the bankruptcy to make sure you're discharged from that debt. Usually, your trustee should be able to explain to you what it looks like and what will happen once you're discharged. Once you are discharged, you're going to receive a letter from your trustee, whether it's a form of an email or a paper copy, verifying that you've been discharged. Once you've been successfully discharged from the debt, that is then going to update on your credit report. You should see that reporting on your credit report. Now, the first mistake most people make is that once they are discharged from their credit report, they assume this means that they're in a position to where they can go out and apply for credit. But no, that account is still reporting onto your credit report. As long as that proposal is on your credit report, you're not going to be able to go out and apply for products. Usually when you submit an application, let's say for example, a credit card, let's say I go to CIBC and I submit an application to apply for a credit card, what's going to happen is they'll ask, have you had a bankruptcy in the past 10 years? Okay. And if you were to lie and go through with the application, what's going to happen is they're going to pull your credit report and they're going to see the proposal or the bankruptcy. By the way, a proposal is also a bankruptcy. A lot of people don't believe this. A lot of people don't understand that. And for some reason, people don't seem to believe a proposal is a bankruptcy. In the finance space, a lot of people just call it for slang a soft bankruptcy because that's what it is. In the eyes of the banks, this is a bankruptcy. Don't waste your time and waste an inquiry when you're going to just get automatically declined anyway. Now, there are products you can apply for if you currently do have a proposal. Usually, this is going to be along the lines of a secured credit card. I don't recommend you go to traditional banks when you apply for a secured credit card while you have a proposal because their standards for their secured credit cards are the same as their unsecured options. If you don't know what a secured credit card is, it's usually a credit builder credit card where you place a small deposit. It helps you rebuild your credit. So I recommend fintech options such as Neo, Coho. I'll probably stay away from Coho mainly because they only report to Equifax and not to TransUnion. We want cards that report to both. But there's also Capital One. You could do Capital One. They have a secured credit card that you can get approved for even if you have a proposal reporting on your credit report. But this is typically the only things in the credit space you're going to be able to get approved for. Now, the next thing is you need to keep your bankruptcy documentations. And again, this is just really about when you're released. So when you're discharged from the proposal or the bankruptcy, you need to keep this documentation. And the reason why is because if there's something reporting inaccurately on your credit report in regards to the proposal or to the bankruptcy, you're only going to be able to verify this reporting inaccurately by looking at your documents that you receive from your trustee. So usually when you first sign off on that proposal, you're going to get a list of all the accounts that are included in that proposal. You should be keeping this. When you're officially discharged, you should be keeping this. And the reason why, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell a quick story. I had a client once that they swore up and down that this account, that they had a collection account that was included in the proposal. They were going to have the collection company was actually contacting them to take legal action against them. And so they swore up and down that account was included in their proposal. So we asked for them to provide us with the documentation. Now, luckily they had everything that the trustee sent to them. They just never took the time to look at it. They just assumed that all their debts were included in the proposal, right? That the trustee just had their best interest in mind and took care of everything, which most trustees do. I'm not taking a shot at trustees. I know I probably have trustees that are going to watch this. But what happened was that account that they were being contacted for was not included in the proposal. So they were not protected by the proposal. That's the whole point of a proposal. They were not protected by the proposal. And so that's when they realized, okay, we need to go through the process of first verifying this debt through the collection company. And if it is verified, let's go ahead and take care of the situation. Maybe we could do paper deletion. Maybe we could pay off that account, whatever it may be. let's take care of the situation. And so this is why you want to keep documentation of everything you do with the proposal or the bankruptcy. We need to know everything that's included in that bankruptcy so that if something does change, maybe there could be an incorrect balance reporting on the account. We need to know, we need to have all this proper information so that we could take care of things accordingly in the event. Also, keep in mind, if something is reporting inaccurately, you have the right as a Canadian to dispute it and get it removed off of your credit report, okay? Not just update it, you can get it removed, okay? Because again, it's the job of the creditors, of the credit bureaus to have this information reporting as accurately as possible. Okay, so this is something that you can leverage when you're in the disputing process. Now, the next thing is you want to review both credit reports. We need to review both Equifax and TransUnion. I've seen situations to where the proposal was reporting over to Equifax and then it wasn't reporting over to TransUnion. This is good news for you. Like for example, it's good news for you if it's not reporting on one and then the other, because now you only have to deal with one credit bureau as far as the disputing process once you're discharged. Okay, once you're discharged, maybe there's some errors. You only have to deal with one company. But I've also seen situations to where it was reporting correctly on one credit bureau, but then for the next, it wasn't reporting correctly. You have to have access to both Equifax and TransUnion. You may say, I don't want to pay for Equifax and TransUnion. That's completely okay. There's free platforms that you can use to monitor this information. You can get Borrowwell for Equifax. You can get ClearScore for TransUnion. You can get creditkarma.ca for TransUnion. So you can get access to your credit reports for free. There's really no excuse why you don't have access to your credit reports. So I highly recommend you get access. And then if you have a proposal or bankruptcy, you go through your report and you double check, you triple check, make sure everything is reporting as accurately as possible. And if it's not, then we have something that we can leverage to dispute those accounts and work towards getting them removed off of your credit report. Now, this brings me to my next point. We need to check how the accounts are being reported onto your credit report. So we talked about this, or I alluded to it a little bit earlier, on how information can be reporting inaccurately. Well, is the account balances on each of the accounts reporting correctly? So for example, my job is to spot inaccuracies, leverage it, and then get those accounts removed off of my client's credit reports. And so for me, it's about knowing what we can leverage versus what we can't. And the average consumer doesn't have time because there's so many things when it comes to a proposal. So for example, a lot of people just think about a proposal from the standpoint of having it paid off and making sure that the proposal itself is reporting as paid off, discharged, and a $0 balance. Okay, which is a great start of checking and being able to identify errors. But there's some other things that we need to be able to identify. We need to look at all the accounts that are included in the proposal, because guess what? Even after you're discharged from that proposal, all those accounts are still going to be reporting onto your credit report for an additional 3 years, even after you're discharged. So we have to go and we have to look at that information and we have to make sure that it's reporting accurately. What do I mean by this? Prior to you being discharged, the balances need to be correct at the balance that you owe for the account. It should still say included in proposal, but the important thing here is that it needs to update to a $0 balance. A lot of people don't know this. You can leverage this as well to get those accounts removed off of your credit report. So again, there's just so much you can leverage, but you have to go through each one of these things and check, was the date that it was reported correct? It was a date that it was filed correct. All of these things you need to be able to look, and that's not only just at the consumer proposal level, you can also look at that at the account level for all the accounts that are included in the bankruptcy. All of those accounts need to be reporting correctly. Everything needs to be accurate. You have to know how to look and identify and look at the flaws so that you can dispute it. I tell people all the time, there's over 20 million Canadians and only 2 credit bureaus. You would be surprised the amount of mistakes that we see. That's why I'm in business, because there's so many errors, there's so many mistakes between Equifax and TransUnion. Do your research. They get sued for this stuff all the time because there's so many errors, there's so many mistakes. Number 6, I would just say, let's not be applying for everything, even after you're discharged. People make the mistake, they get discharged, they start applying for everywhere. So we talked about getting a secure credit card while you're in the proposal process. Maybe you're currently paying it down, or even after you get discharged. Really the only thing you have access to is a secure credit card or a secure loan. You can get a secure loan. There used to be a company, it was Refresh Financial. They had secure credit cards and they had secure loans. I think they're out of business now. I don't think they really did too well, but these things exist. You can use these things to help you rebuild your credit. Now, while you have access to these things, you may not see your credit score jump from a 600 to a 700, right? But what you're doing is, and what you may not realize, is that you're building potential for your credit. Now, that potential is going to really show once the proposal is removed off of your credit report and all the accounts that are included in the proposal are removed off of your credit report. So once all those things are removed off of your credit report, let's just say it took you 5 years to pay out that proposal, you also have 5 years of on-time payment history with that secured credit card or the secured loan that you were building over time. And so now that's going to be sitting there still, even while the proposal is removed off of your credit report. You're building potential when you get these secured credit cards. When I say get a secured credit card, don't look at it as a waste of time. You're building that potential, and yes, you're not going to actualize the true benefits of it yet, but once that proposal is removed, you're going to see all the benefits from it. Number 7, I am going to say it's time to start building healthy habits around your credit. Now, when I say building healthy habits around your credit, think about how you got into the position in the first place of having to do a consumer proposal or a bankruptcy. You had to, maybe you lost your job, which is understandable. Maybe you just were undisciplined financially. A lot of the people we work with, a lot of times they tell us, I was just young, I was in school, I just kind of maxed out this credit card and I just didn't take care of it. And I did that multiple times, which is why I had to do a proposal because I couldn't pay it back. And so I see that story over and over and over again. And we need to start building good financial habits, or you're going to be right back in that same situation. And so this is why I always advocate towards having a budget in place. A simple framework for a budget is you saying, how much money do I have coming in on a monthly basis versus leaving on a monthly basis? This is my budget. We should have either a zero-based budget or a cash flowing budget to where we have excess capital every single month to where we can save that money and put it away, or use it to pay down debt, or use it to invest, whatever it may be. Or that may be even included in your budget. Everyone's budget is going to look different, but you need to start somewhere. And it's not going to be perfect when you first start out. When I first started my budget, I had a gross idea of what I thought I spent on groceries. I thought I only spent a few $100 on groceries. You know, I have a family, I have a wife, I have a daughter. I was spending probably $600 a month on groceries, which that sounds about right, especially in this economy. So it brought me to the realization of how much I was spending on groceries, and it's going to do the same for you. And you're also going to see the things that you shouldn't be spending money on. I don't want you to view a budget as something that's going to restrict you. I want you to view it as something that's going to actually give you freedom, because you are also going to see not only the things you shouldn't be spending your money on, because you're going to realize it's a waste of money. Like for the longest time, I like books, but for the longest time I had an Amazon Audible subscription, and I'd rather read than listen to the books. Sometimes if I'm going on a walk, I'll like listen to the books, but it's very rare. And so for me, I was spending like $17 a month on that Audible account, which I just didn't need it. I didn't need it. It was a waste of money. And you may say $17 is not much, but you may find multiple subscriptions to where you just ask yourself, do I really need this? And it's not you being cheap or you trying to, just save an extra buck. Well, you are trying to save a buck, but you're just trying to decide what's important in my life, what isn't. And then you replace that with something that is important. I can go do something else with that $17. You get the point. I want to set an honest expectation around having a bankruptcy or dealing with a bankruptcy, and that is this: you cannot go into it and think that you're going to fix your credit, that it's going to fix your credit. That's not the point of it. If you understand anything about finance, and I'm not saying this to diminish anyone or to speak ill of anyone, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. If you go into a bankruptcy thinking that it's there to fix your credit, it's not. A bankruptcy is a tool to protect you financially. What do I mean by that? So if I sign up for a proposal, I'm not necessarily doing it because I want to pay my debt back. Usually the smart person that's doing a proposal is doing it because a lot of creditors are coming after them and saying we're going to take legal action against you. Because if you know, a proposal does protect you. Bankruptcy does protect you legally against creditors. Okay? And there's a lot of benefits to a proposal. There's a lot of downsides. I won't get into that. That's not the purpose of this video. I just want to set proper expectations. Don't sign up for a proposal thinking that it's there to fix your credit. So it does help your credit from the standpoint that you get discharged. Let's say you get discharged after 5 years. The proposal ages off 6 years. All of the accounts that were included in the proposal, those don't go away until 3 years post-discharge. So it's a long process. Let's say you don't do the proposal and you did nothing at all anyway. Those accounts will just age off after 7 years. And that's actually shorter than the 5 plus 3 years. So The reason why people just don't sit there and let the accounts age off is because these creditors will sue you. I've seen so many lawsuits from Amex. These creditors will sue you. That's why people do it. So you may say, well, why don't I just wait 7 years instead of doing a proposal? It's because the creditors will sue you. A lot of them will sue you. And so to protect yourself, people do a proposal. And so that's my whole point. It will help your credit as long as you successfully finish it. So here's the final message. We're not chasing a credit score, we're chasing data. And by data, what I mean is payment history that's reporting onto your credit report, no late payments, a profile that has a low utilization. You have diversity with all of your credit cards. You're not carrying a bunch of inquiries on your credit report. You don't look desperate to lenders. You don't have any derogatory accounts on your credit report. You don't have any collections. You don't have any charge-offs. You don't have any consumer proposals. You don't have any bankruptcies. You don't have any public records reporting onto your credit report. This is what makes a great credit score. If you chase this, the credit score is going to be, or a great credit score is just going to be a pure byproduct of that, of you having a great set of data. So that's the most important thing. If your bankruptcy has been discharged and you still don't know what to do, you're still lost, you're still confused about how to go about the disputing process for the proposal, for the bankruptcy, for all of the accounts included in the bankruptcy, my team is here to assist you. Send us an email, info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. We will hop on a consultation call. We will go through the proposal with you, discuss what needs to be done to take those next steps towards getting that account removed off of your credit report and all the accounts included removed off of your credit report. You can always send us an email, and until next time,